Hi everyone, George here from Lockt on Art, and welcome to part 2 of the Dragon Models Tiger 1 late production build. This time I will be focusing on detailing the hull and assembling the fenders and side skirts. This is where most of the photo etch parts come into play, and it is very fiddly work. So let's get straight back into it. I've scratch built a couple of brackets for the jack and soldered them together. They will be glued in place onto the jack, and then the whole structure will be put on the back of the hull. So now I'm going to install the towing cables. This wire came with the kit. I made some cleaning rods out of brass just to replace these ones, and then securing it all with the photo etch that goes with it. Also included in this step are the loop fasteners and the fasteners which hold the wire down around the engine. So in order to put the photo etch clasps on, I'm going to have to be removing these clasps here. For the cleaning rod brackets, they were welded onto the top deck, so I've just added some epoxy putty around the outside just to replicate the weld beading. And I've also upgraded the detail for the rods themselves. For the actual towing cable, it being wire, it's quite difficult to work with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of glue it in place as I go. Then I'll be able to secure on the top latches to the brackets. I had to backtrack a little bit because I forgot to put in the mesh panels. So they're in now and they're looking good, and also I've added all of the wing nuts to the clasps. Okay, so all the tie downs are made and all of the tools are ready to be put on. They have all of their clamps in place, and for the crowbar, this one was a bit warped, so I've made one out of brass rod. I'm not going to be using these holes here on the top deck, so I'm just filling them in with a little bit of putty. I just wipe the excess away with a bit of damp tissue, and there's no need for sanding. With this one I've made a bit of an error and I'm unable to get it into the clasps. I'm going to have to pop this off. These are the side skirts that come with the kit, and also provided some photo etch brass side skirts, which I'm going to be using. There's 3 supports for each side skirt, 2 on the ends and 1 down the middle. I'm going to be soldering those into place, and then they can be fitted to the model. With this solder, I like to flatten it out a wee bit, so when you cut it off and put it into place, it doesn't roll away. So for each support, I put 3 spots of solder. And I would always recommend doing my soldering on a piece of ceramic or brick, or in this case, an old marble chopping board. I just have the support and a pair of tweezers. And just simply take a gas torch, heat the area up. And as you can see, it's got a nice solid bond. That will be done to the rest of the side skirts, and there's 8 of them and 3 supports each, so I'll be doing that 24 times. Okay, so as you can see here, all of the supports have been soldered to the skirts and are now ready to be fitted onto the model. The only problem is with these, I think they're just a bit too uniform and clean. I've seen a lot of photos of Tiger One's skirts damaged and lots of photos with them in good condition. So what I'm going to do is just apply some light damaging and a bit of warping to the skirts themselves, and they'll be glued onto the model. While I was damaging up the side skirts, I took the opportunity to do a bit of damage to the exhaust covers. I just removed them so I was able to bend and twist them. This one side down. I've decided to miss one of the skirts out, as the Tiger one was often seen with one or two missing. I have the plastic cable here, just using that as a guide where to put the photo etch supports for the wire. So I've made up the two ends of the towing cable. I will be gluing them onto the model and then gluing the wire into this one here, feeding the wire through the different brackets and then gluing it into this one here. So what I have here are these spring-loaded latches that hold the front fenders down that attach to the hull, and the hook goes around the loop on the fender to hold it in place. These are entirely scratch built. And with that concludes part 2 of the Tiger One build. The top deck and around the hull is completely done. In part 3 I will be completing the Tiger with the turret and the extra accessories such as the Michael Wittmann figure, 88 shells and ammo boxes. I hope you've enjoyed watching so far, and please subscribe so you don't miss part 3. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.